Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're with us this morning. A beautiful Friday morning, getting ready for a great weekend in the Florida Panhandle. Our weather today brought to us by Drew Pollard's company, Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, taking care of our everyday comfort needs. High today 81, low 61, just almost a replica of yesterday's report. In fact, the water temperature exactly at the end of the pier, 70.3, and we're looking at the river reading brought to us by Mountain Dew. Get out and do. Again, the Apalachicola is still in that color part of the chart. Up to that 17 foot, but now it is going to start dropping out, as will be the Choctawhatchee River at Carriville. It's at 11, but we're not having any rain last day or two, and in the next few days, no rain predicted, so the rivers will be dropping for the weekend. They're still going to be high, but they will be falling out along with the feeder creeks. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Long. Another great day of tides. We're looking at the low tide this morning at 128, and the high tide later on in the afternoon now about 217. So you got a great incoming tide coming in real strong. Our looking at our wind, how about east southeast again in double figures at 11. I'm gonna get on through this because on the phone we have with us Captain Kim from Sea Quarters. We want to get a report on what's going down on the eastern end of the Panhandle viewing area. So good morning, Captain Kim.
Good morning, Mr. Chester. What a beautiful day.
Awesome, awesome. So what's going on down your way?
Well, they've been trying to get out a little bit past Dog Island, and I'm hearing a good report on the pompano and flounder. We got some sand flea gulp, which has been real popular on that, and the fish bites. For some reason, those fish just love the fish bites. So they've been using those just, around Dog Island and what have you, and having some real good luck. A couple of the guys went out and did some grouper fishing, came back with a nice load. So it's been pretty good fishing around here.
Well, that's interesting. Let me ask you about on the pompano. I'm always talking about, catching them off St. George Island, but now some of you folks are going over there on Dog Island and catching them?
Yes, sir. Right off the outside is basically what I've been hearing.
Okay. Very good, very good.
Yeah, it's been pretty good out there, and like usual, the sea bass and grunts and what have you. So they've been actually filling up the coolers here.
Okay, how's your Spanish run been?
I haven't heard a whole lot about that just yet. It may just be a little bit too early. I'm hoping that this weekend is going to be pleasurable. We've got a Riverfront Festival coming up, so that's going to be a hustle and bustle right here around Carriville with all kinds of vendors and what have you. So hopefully I'll get a little bit more word on seeing if anybody's catching any.
Oh, okay. Well, that will bring in a big crowd this weekend. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty. The weather looks good, so we should have a good weekend. Okay.
Well, let's one more thing. How about our freshwater up the creek? What's going on?
Oh, yeah, the up the creek has always been good. Trout and redfish bites been good, good size to them. Of course, the brim and shell crackers have been huge, so they've been doing real happy with that up there.
And crickets and worms?
Got plenty of crickets, plenty of worms, all kinds of artificial worms, all kinds of good stuff. They've been... Usually they're getting mostly with the wigglers. The earthworms are a little better for the shell crackers, they're telling me, but the wigglers have been pretty popular.
That's okay. Good point right there. Good tip. Good fishing tip. Well, Captain Kim, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, you too, and have a great weekend. Thank you.
Okay. Well, we'll see you later. All right. Sea Quarters Marina, one of our big sponsors down there in Carriville, the Riverfront Festival this weekend. Don't have anything to do. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Glad you're with us this morning, getting ready for a big weekend. Listen, I was thinking about this spring in general. I mentioned it yesterday. I want to go and finish up on it. By the way, I really enjoyed watching the video from Jeff Peck's video he did from the creeks to the coast, and it was just really, I forgot how good it was. So hope you enjoyed it also on yesterday's show. looking at, I was just thinking about spring observations. I mentioned this. This has been such a stormy spring as far as, it's just been an off spring. And I've talked to, I was at the pier yesterday with Outdoor Kids. I talked to some other pier fishermen who were there all the time, and they were talking about what an unproductive spring it has been on the Spanish, on the Pompano. I mean, they caught a few here and there, but I talked to some captains. One of them was talking about just, flat out hardly any sheep head like there used to be, just not any sheep head. It's been, it's just been something, we had winds every day, we had high water on the rivers, we had the storms and all. But anyway, with all that being said, as we get ready for the second half of spring, I'm anticipating some really exciting things happening, and the weather sort of settling down and not being too hot, just being just right. So fly fishing is right around the corner. So this first part of the spring, let's get it over with and do some serious fishing. The second part, I just wanted to bring that up. I got just a couple of pictures. Today is Earth Day, and we're going to talk about that next segment. But I do want to show a couple of local pictures leading into it. Tom Gurley, one of the first guys I met when I started doing the show at Fox 28. He's retired now, but what a great guy. And he as a hobby, he takes these pictures. He got 3 pictures he sent me. Is that just not beautiful nature right there? And the second one right here, we're talking about postcard pictures. Obviously, you can see that's at St. Andrews State Park, looking out toward the west, out toward the pass. And one more here. Again, the sky, a lot of times we're talking about Earth, but the Earth and sky, their beauty goes together. They just blend right in. So I wanted to thank you for sending those 2, and those are just really, really good. And speaking of spring things going on, let me show one more. Jeff Carroll sent this one. Jeff Carroll. I wonder if he knows he's beautiful. Is that not, I don't know how he's got them lit on his finger like that. Okay, I love these natural pictures and all. I was talking about, not catching the fish, and one of the things you hardly ever hear, well, it happens, but you just don't hear it as much as you used to, catching cobia. We would go out. I remember a trip we made one time after school. Well, I know you get tired of my story. We went out after, I got somebody to cover my last class. We left school like at 12:30 on Friday afternoon. 3 other guys and myself caught 4 cobia within 2 hours and back to the house. I mean, we're limited out. That's unheard of now. And I was talking to Scott Lindsay the other day. He's been saying this for 3 or 4 years now. And he said or longer than that they flat out need to cut the cobia season completely out for a couple of years to give that stock time to replenish and reproduce and get back out there like they were. It is. When I was at the pier day before yesterday, I was looking, and I always put a picture of people catching cobia on the window there at the ticket booth, and there are only 3 cobia caught this time. Normally there'd be 20 or 30. There are a few boats have brought them in, very few, but it's just been a very, very slim season on the cobia. And some of you will catch some off the wrecks and all, bottom fish and all, that'll happen. But the cobia run is almost, I wouldn't say non-existent, because they are catching some. Just I've seen guys looking for them all week, and it's just really slow. Anyway, Scott Lindsay may have a point there about just say, let's cut it out for a little period of time, give them time to reproduce and get back out there. But it'll have to be done statewide, because really and truly, they get hammered down around the Tampa, St. Pete, way down toward Miami. As they're coming up, they just get, so many people out there doing that now. So anyway, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back on this beautiful Friday morning. I mentioned earlier Wendy and her family live in Tupelo, Mississippi now. They live on a lake, and I think you saw the pictures about 2 weeks ago. I showed pictures of Mason catching the bass and brim and all, but there's a little island in that lake right behind their house, and we were Gail and I were up there a couple weeks ago, and there's geese were sitting on it. They had eggs, and that female, that mama goose, was just sitting on there all day long. I just observed it. It was just beautiful seeing. Well, Wendy recently sent some pictures right here. Let me see. Look at here. They hatched out. There's 6 of them, and they're well protected. They're staying between their mom and daddy. Is that not cool? She was so excited. That's right off their dock there, and they live there. But they got 6 of them there, so she sent that. And okay, so then I'm gonna close it out. I'm gonna go back to another one. Then she sent check this out. They got up in a yard. Now there are 10 little gooselings. So now they're in a backyard and they're up there in the grass. And I was thinking to myself, that's a little island back in the background. That's where they hatched out. And they start moving around really fast. But they're seeing nature right there in the backyard of the eggs and hatching in the water. So anyway, I want to mention that. I thought it'd be a good lead up for Earth Day. And I'm seeing the little, gooselings out there feeding on the grass. I think about, I don't think to get that spray fertilizer and all that stuff a lot of people use. I was hoping the neighborhood hadn't done a lot of that, but it made me think about Earth Day, which is today. And just briefly, Earth Day started when I was in college, and I was, I'm still the Earth Day person. I believe strongly in taking care of our environment. Now I know we have some wackos and radicals that that do all kind of things and all on that and use that Earth Day as an excuse, but just downright common sense of taking care of our woods and waters. And we talk about it. It's not just a one day with us. We talk about it year round about so many people doing so many good things around here. I just want to continue to urge you to continue doing it. I was thinking, I wrote down a couple notes last night, just as outdoorsmen, as sportsmen, that it should come natural. And it does come natural, all the ones I've ever been around. I know there's a little segment that's going to be throwing out the beer cans and stuff like that, but we'll go along, clean it behind them like they do. The big thing I want to point out today, we've got to get, again, pass it on to our younger generation. Earth Day is 50-something years ago when it started. It's still strong, but we got to get it to the young people. And I really wish every school would have kids planting trees on Earth Day. They were doing that for a while, but I haven't seen much of it lately, with the exception of a few classes. But just let them plant that tree and come back in 3 or 4 years and see how it's grown. That's a simple thing as tree planting. That's one of the biggest things we can do. We planted sea oats with our outdoor class and did all kind of fun things like that. So I want to encourage you to do something for Earth Day today, whatever it is, and just talk to folks. And if you got to join up with people to do things and as a group, but I do it individually and I do it with groups and all. Just take care of our earth, take care of our waters. We're getting more and more people in here, and it's getting harder and harder to take care of it. So especially in the Panhandle, the trees we need. So anyway, if I was teaching today, I'd be working on that right there and drawing stuff on the board and drawing trees and all. But I just want to pass it on to y'all because I know a lot of y'all that watch it all feel the same way that we do. Okay, now yesterday I showed the picture. This was interesting of that invention. I love inventions of the umbrella. Well, really, okay. Let me get focused here. That was a shibumi. Okay, that little tent-looking thing in the shade, and I'd never seen it. I went out there to fish with Chase Smith, and his cousin had it, so I went back and I looked it up. I was just fascinated with it, and what it was. Okay, here's a picture of it from yesterday. Okay, we got some shade, and that was and so I looked up. How in the world somebody invent something this simple? Okay. So I was looking it up, and I'm going to here's the deal on it. It was actually invented in North Carolina. I'm going to show you two brothers. I've got a picture of them here. There was a family that once a year, like so many people, they'd spend a week at the beach, and they'd take the umbrellas down there, and they'd set them up, and the wind would blow them over. They'd take the canopies down to the beach, and we've all done that, and the wind blows it over. And they were talking one day, so why don't we do something that works with the wind instead of working against it, having the wind work against it? And they started thinking, that's how they came up with this idea right in their home there in North Carolina, and they started actually making them there in one of the rooms. Here's the two brothers right here, okay? They're sewing, learn how to sew, and they started sewing them and then put them together and all, and they started marketing to the friends, and of course, I don't know if it ever made Shark Tank or not, but it could have, but so this is what it ended up, and this works with the wind. You see the wind was blowing the other day, blowing out of the north. The north, normally now the prevailing wind would be the other way. But I was really tickled by reading that they said the hardest thing to do was learn how to sew. But it's two brothers, and they just, I love outdoor inventions, and we talk about them in class a lot. I had kids trying to invent things, but American invented, American made right there. So now, Here's the caveat. The big thing, and I looked them up online, all kind of research I was looking at last night. The biggest problem is the cost. Those cost about $250. So you got to weigh, you know, I know those canopies, they'll cost that much and all. But anyway, they're very lightweight. So maybe I had Chase's cousin bought one from a vacation who'd been down all week, and he was leaving, and so he didn't need it anymore. So he just sold it to Chase's cousin. So anyway, the cost is fairly high, but you got to, if you're going to be on the beach all day, it's well worth it. So it's just according to how much you're going to use something like that. Okay, drawing. We got to get ready for our drawing. We're running behind today. We're going to add a couple of names. How about Captain Jerry Cutchins and Dosey Cutchins? See, we got y'all in there before the drawing. All right. $200 gift certificate. That $200 not going to go as far as it used to. Somebody was telling me yesterday that the snapper over there at Destin Fish Market was $28 a pound. That's in Destin, okay? 38, folks. Here's the $200 gift certificate going to, all the way from Bayou George, Jimmy Thompson. How about the big red snapper? All right, that's going to, all the way from Henson's Crossroads, Danny Joe Strength from Henson's Crossroads. Okay, that takes care of our drawing. We're going to take a break, come back with our famous Friday fishing forecast. Okay, well, welcome back. Let's take a look at our famous Friday fishing report. We're looking at a situation where this week has been an off week, and I can personally be a testimony to that. It hadn't been a lot of fish caught, and it's very simple. The reason I was on the pier, and our outdoor kids didn't catch anything, and the folks on the pier, the guys, there's some pier rats, and you know how they are. They were not catching anything. I talked to some of them, and also with that one afternoon we fished a couple hours, caught one pompano, and we were fishing. We knew what we were doing. I was just really observing. They'd already set up. Anyway, I was around a couple of good fishing situations, and it was one good reason, and it was very simple. Last week, the water temperature was 74 degrees. It just popped up that big warm spot. Then it dropped off to 71. Then we had that cool air come in this week. So we had water temperature cool and cool air. And the old timers always knew that when it got cold real quick or something, not seasonal, but just made a quick dip, they wouldn't fish, freshwater fish. So anyway, that's what happened this week. Now, hopefully, again, like I said earlier, it's going to really pick up next week. But right now, the water temperature is sort of staying steady, but it should start coming back up, hopefully next week. Now, what we're not catching, like I said, is sheephead bite. It's been really, really slow. This is coming straight from the captains I talked to. Also, the big gator trout over in the St. Andrew Bay system, they just haven't caught very many. There's not a big gator trout right now, just not biting, which is normal. That's a seasonal thing. Over in Choctawhatchee Bay, I saw some reports that they were doing it. So, a couple of things I wrote down. That get ready to fly fish. I mentioned that earlier in the show. May is what, a week away, a week and a half away to be May. And it's go and get all your stuff out, and it's go and start practicing and getting ready to fly fish. The rivers, I also wrote down, we were talking to all kinds of different people, and some people this time of year like to get in these sandhill ponds and troll deep, because a lot of times these brim now, the big brim are at the bottom of the pond, and I've talked to people who've caught them and done it for years and all that, and told a lot of people about them, so that's going to be a good way to do it there. I wrote down surf fishing. Now the river's going to keep dropping because no rain's coming, so we're okay with the rivers the next week or so, as in the next couple of days. The surf fishing, I never did finish these surf fishing spots, but going on down to the east end, she did mention, Captain Kim did mention Dog Island, so take a look at Dog Island. Now this, you can get to it by boat, okay, so you're coming out of Seaquarter at the top of the screen. Okay, you come around, that's what's great about this, and of course we've been there by boat and all. You can come in right here in the center of the screen, come in on the bay side and walk right across here. I know the area she was talking. Nobody's there. I promise you that it's just a stretch of not very many people. Dog Island is a unique place. Okay, so that's going to be a good place to catch them also. But she was talking about going up the creek and all. This is, the creek we talk about. Remember, she said wigglers are really good. We're talking about this Tate's Hill area. and all the cool. This is springtime. It's going to be this beautiful area to get into. Okay, all right. I think it froze up on me. So anyway, as you get ready to go and plan your trips and all, make sure you try to get fresh live bait. If you Choctawhatchee River system, or if you're doing anything in the on the big river there, you want to go ahead and get some live bait. So okay, a couple other things I wrote down. Well, I don't say I have time. Surf fishing, last thing I wrote down is hot now. Pompano fishing, we're getting at the peak of it. The last 2 weeks of April, the first 2 weeks of May. That's why I keep talking about it so much right this period of time of the show, because it's really the best it's going to be as far as the waves of fish coming in, okay? The wind, just deal with the wind. When out there, we talked about it yesterday, just drift with the wind. A lot of those guys that invented that shade, don't fight the wind, work with the wind. So let the wind just blow you down to certain areas or blow you back. Don't worry about a trolling motor doing this and that. Just go with the wind in an open base system and just get a good, what we call a good drift. Okay. Now the biggest things too is, again, on the fly fishing, just start getting ready for it. I've run out of time. Y'all do something good today, fellow man. You have a great day. Enjoy our beautiful outdoors. Do something for Earth Day. God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.